guys, this is your boy Rootz from Team Relinquish, and we have quite a familiar face, Michael Stay, BLAU himself, returning back to the channel, now a member of Titan Esports. Shout out to Zachary Butler and MetaMatch. We'll make sure to put the link of their website in the description below. So Michael, if I'm mistaken, you just top 32 this YCS Salt Lake City this past weekend?
Yep.
All right. So if it's not Paleo, it's not Cosmo, what did you do today with?
I top 32 with Mekk-Knight Invoked, something I've been playing for like the last month and a half. Me and Jacob have been testing it. My teammate Jacob Silverman. We cooked up the deck. He played a similar list, but like he turned in his deck list Friday. Me in my room with Marcus Hayden and Ed. Me, Marcus, Ed, Blair, Elise, and Cody Engeloff. We all just made changes to the deck last minute. That's why I never pre-reg. But these changes actually were detrimental and absolutely helped me throughout the tournament. So shout out to all of them for smacking some sense into me with some of the deck choices. So let's just get into it.
All right.
And again, shout out to one of my best friends, Eden, for these amazing scapegoat tokens in Field Center. You're the best. Start off, play 9, I lied. 9 Alistairs. If you don't see this card, you're more than likely losing unless you see Scapegoat, so you just want to max out on it, of course. And then the Mekk-Knights, 3 purple, 3 blue, and 1 indigo. I see a lot of people playing Red Moon, but I just didn't want to play it because it's a Garnet going first. And I get that it's a name you can search off with Blue Sky to maximize its value, but it's very hard for you to manipulate it to the way you want to, for you to pop a monster, because you have to banish a Mekk-Knight in the graveyard, which means you have to link away with one of them. So it's hard to do in that aspect. I know a lot of other people played it, but like I just want to minimize on the Garnets. This is my favorite one. It's best going first or second. It helps you blink and dodge chain links, and this one just gets bodies out and in. Like, if you summon 2 Mekk-Knights in a turn, you can use it to target this one, and then during your turn, and then use this one during your opponent's turn, and then you have 2 bodies coming back the next turn, and you added 2 cards from your deck to your hand. Like, that's insane. This is like the best one, hands down. And this one just rewards you for your opponent placing their columns badly. So there's that. And this one's like this one's a Garnet essentially, but this one's a better one because it helps you OTK. And then hand traps, 3 Ash. Of course, you got to make Perka Trio somehow. This card helped a lot because there was a lot of True Draco decks, and any hand traps are good. Like, and then 3 Ogre, definitely the best hand trap of the format right now. It's so versatile over every matchup. No explanation there. It's a light, of course. Instead of Valor, we went ahead and played Gamma. This card was insane because if you activate Terraforming or Meltdown and they Ash you, you just activate this and get Omega. It's a free. They neg 2 cards. So like I wanted to play this over Valor because this stops Electromite and destroys it, where a Valor left it on the board and allowed them to penalty summon more than 2. So yeah, this card is just definitely better, and it's also really good against the Draco deck because you play Mind Control in the deck. So you go Mind Control, target their Majesty or Ignis, whichever one they summon. They chain the effect and they chain Gamma. So it rips the card out of their hand because you're going to summon Omega, keeps this in grave, and you get rid of their Majesty. Like, it's insane. So this card was definitely better than Valor overall. And I also played 3 Droll. Shout out to Ed, Marcus, and Elise for wanting me to do this because it definitely helped in the Draco matchup. And Pendulum, it helped too, in a sense, because they search Astrograph a lot, and drawing cards with Electromite, it just stops them in their tracks almost, essentially. So 12 hand traps, and then the spells, 2 Invocation. 3 came up maybe once or twice because of you banishing them with Desires, but I might stick with 2. If I have to up the deck count to 42, maybe, but like, again, that sort of sucks because seeing this without Alistair is just so bad. And just two's fine. You have to play at least 2 though. 2 cards that should not be at 3. Mind Control being one of them. This card is just absolutely unfair with Mekk-Knights. You just set this in the column, special this in the column, special this in the same column, and then Mind Control, put it in a different column, and it just frees up space and just links away with your opponent's big threats, and also helps out the Pendulum boards. So this card's insane. And then the other card that should not be at 3, BLING, Scapegoat. This card is absolutely unfair. It helps you make Saryuja with just any other monster in your hand. Drawing 4 is insane. Away to that card via this is just not fair for one card to do. It's just so good. Like, people aren't playing this. You have to play this card. It's the only card that helps you other than Alistair ditching a light for going first. This sets up your defense for the next turn. Like, it's insane. This plus a hand trap is like almost game. Then spells 2 desires. Definitely, I wouldn't play 3 because you can't afford to banish 20 cards. Like, you just can't. And then 2 evenly because the pure amount of Draco there was. Like, top 4 was 3 Draco and a dinosaur. Like, this was just insane. It came up. It was subpar though against Pendulum. It was really good against the Draco decks game 1. Main deck's 41 cards. Extra deck 3 Mekba. This card came up a lot in the grind games. Like, there's nothing else to say about this card. Like, people were playing 2 because I understand some people don't have them, but like some people were playing 2 because they didn't feel it came up, and also against cherries they wanted to have something else extra for the extra deck. But like 3 comes up so much in the grind game against Draco, and sometimes Pendulum if they open slow and just play a slow game, it definitely absolutely comes up because like if your invocations, if you run out of invocation targets, like your engine is just dead. So you're playing a Mekk-Knight deck, which just sucks. So definitely 3. This is needed. I played 1 Purgatrio. Some people playing 2. I don't understand why. If you're summoning this card, it's for going for game. Otherwise, you're just playing Mekba control. So definitely 1 of this is really all you need. The second one never came up in tournament because again, if I'm summoning this, I'm killing you that turn. I played Raijin just because of Jewel and Lock. They told me to put Raijin in the extra deck. But it came up like once because I just wanted to activate it and get Alistair back in my hand. So it's a 32 beater that books. It's good against Pendulum because you just book the Pendulum, the second summon. That's where they force you to use the Pendulum summon early on. I might cut this depending on how I feel at certain events. This card came up. Elysium came up a lot because it's a board wipe for the opponents. It's a board wipe, and also it wins against the Masterpiece deck. If you bait out their Masterpiece and then the Masterpiece is unaffected by spells, so Diagram can't protect it by battles, you just run it over with this. It's insane. And then Omega for the Gamma, and also it comes up when you have a blue sky on the field and you summon any of the Ghost Sisters to Synchro Wave. It came up at least, and I mean it's at least 8 times, and I was about to not play this in my extra deck, but again, shout out to Ed, Marcus, Cody, Elise, and Blair. They all smacked some sense of me into playing this card. Definitely one of the MVP cards in the extra deck. And then links, 2 link ones for the Scapegoat play for Saryuja. Underclock Taker to deal massive damage with Purgatrio, and also to get rid of 2 monsters in zones just to clear up space. Proxy came up again just to clear up space. Just because it's a light, it matters. It's the only like light monster in your extra deck that you can just summon and get access to a light. Decode Talker, this card's amazing. Again, frees up space, anything you mind control, and it produces 2 down arrows, and it gets big, so that helps. Nigrisu, I did not summon this card all weekend, but it is needed against the Floodgates. Overload, of course, and Saryuja. This card needs to be banned. Best link monster in the game. Shout out to Patrick James. He knows what he's talking about. Please ban this card, Konami. It is not fair at all. Then spells, side deck Kaiju package. This is against more so the 6-card decks and anything else that's like Rogue that puts up a big board that gets outed by this card. But these are just against the Draco deck. You have to have ways to out Masterpiece. This deck sort of can out Masterpiece if they make it unaffected by Monster Trap because you can just mind control it and link away with it. But if not, these are your really only outs. And then 2 Fossil Dyna. Shout out to one of my best friends, Julie, who lent me these. Definitely. It's really only for the mirror and some rogue decks that can't get over it. You just you summon this in the mirror, and they have to literally just set an Alistair or set a hand trap and pass because there's no way around this card. But also what's the word I'm saying? In conjunction with the Fossil Dynas, you play 3 Chalice because in theory you summon this. And then they set their monster and pass. Then you activate Chalice on this, targeting this. You go off, and then during the opponent's next turn, this is back to having its effect. So you have a Mekba plus this. Like, that's game. Like, it's insane. And then this is also just a good standalone card in the side deck for this event because everybody was playing. A lot of people were playing the Zexal Pendulum deck, and this card just outright outs the card because they usually just, instead of putting negates on board, they just end with Zexal and a Gaia Dragon. So if you just resolve this, you just win the game because you'll be able to. They have lights in the grave, they have fires in the grave more than likely because of Electromite, so you'll be able to kill them outright. And then 3 Cyclone for when they make this is just obviously against Draco, but like in certain instances when I feel the Pendulum player is going to make me go first, I side 2 of these in along with the barriers. This is also for the mirror match because you can set this card if they make you go first and pass, and they're going to obviously set a card in the same column because they're playing the Mekk-Knight deck, and then you Cyclone whatever they set here. It frees up your zone. They lost one of their best cards because generally you set a card, summon a Mekk-Knight, and then activate that same card because it's a tempo card that you're going to just activate anyway. So they lost a tempo card, you cleared up a space, and they can't summon their Mekk-Knight. So this card is just insane in the mirror. And same with this, obviously, barriers just blow out against so many different decks. But yeah, quick shout-outs real quick again. Shout-out to Julie for lending me these amazing Falsidinas. You're the best. Shout-out to Titan Esports and MetaMats, the best sponsors ever. I love them so much. Also giving me this amazing playmat. Like, they do so much for me. Like, I can't even like begin to explain how much they are amazing. Shout out to people in my room, Blair, Ed, Cody, Elise, and Marcus. Especially big shout out to Marcus. I was actually going to drop round 6. I did not know that so many X21s were at the top. I became X21 round 6, and I just thought it was impossible. But like, due to the sheer number of, due to the low number of attendance, because there was only 500 something people, they smacked some sense to me, and a couple of people ran the numbers, and all X21s actually topped that event. And I ended up winning the last 4 rounds, and I topped. It was very good. Shout out to everybody that kept supporting me, all the Floridians. You know, y'all know I do it for you, and that's about it.
All right, guys, this is your boy Rootz.
One more. Shout out to Blair's Regional Juice. Y'all know what it is. If you know what it is, that is God. Kept me going throughout the event.
All right, then, guys. It's your boy Rootz from Team Relinquish, and we got Michael State again with another great deck profile. Shout out to Titan Esports. Again, shout out to MetaMatch. We can guys get the best mats. Also, we'll put a link in the description below. If you want to buy the best cloth mats in the game, go to MetaMatch. Yep. Trust and believe me, they have some great product. Till next time.
BLAU.
Peace.